going on? You doing all right?
How are you?
Good.
How'd you feel the first practice of the week out here?
Yeah, I think on to the next. Good one we got this past weekend, but we got to move on. One at home. We got start to get one at home. I think we start to play good in front of our at our home stadium. I think something that's Coach Vrabel's been wanting to do is play good at home and make this a tough place to play. So it comes with execution and details and starting off on a good Wednesday practice. I feel like we did that. We got some things to clean up and still talking with the new opponent and anytime you think some Wednesdays or stuff that you adjust and look back on. But I thought it was a good start.
Drake, how important is the consistency of effort from week to week or performance from week to week?
Yeah, that's our.
Wanting to kind of back what you did last week, take it forward.
That's one of the big team keys this week is consistency. Consistency and what we do. Consistency, kind of bringing it every day and consistency in details and effort and like you said, that's something that we want to establish as a identity on this football team, and that starts with doing it in practice and hopefully that translates and will translate to the game.
I feel like the biggest difference was for you and your group, week 2 compared to week 1.
Yeah, I think there's a little fire under us. I think kind of week 1 you're kind of anticipating what's this like, kind of new team, new guys, and week 2 you want to get back at it and know we didn't put our best football out there week 1, so just kind of mindset of kind of what we can do and just trying to bring it every week and still things to learn from on the tape and areas to improve and just think just a little fire under us and hopefully we bring that this Sunday.
A lot of guys said that you were the one who brought the fire on Sunday. How do you respond to that? And is that kind of what you want to be as a coach?
Yeah, it starts with practice. It starts with me, being out there today. It starts with bringing it every day in practice and not just being one of the guys that has it on game day or has it when things are going bad. So just my efforts to try to bring it and be the one and not having the coaches to do it. I think that's the best team. So that's what I'm trying to build and got a long way to go, but working towards that.
I know you're a big fan of Aaron Rodgers growing up. What was it about his game that you liked so much?
Yeah, I think kind of you just get to the age of starting to really love watching football and they won the Super Bowl when I was probably just remembered watching my first Super Bowl. I know that they won it, so with the Packers. So yeah, just it's very talented the way throwing the football and I think anytime he's got some swagger to him and I think he's just a special how he throws the football. I remember watching it last year when Jacoby was playing and they were playing at the Jets. I was watching him warm up. It's just something you don't take for granted. Somebody just throws the football that way and just like I said, his swagger and big fan.
Is there anything specifically about Rodgers' game that you've maybe tried to carry over into yours?
Yeah, I think it's hard to emulate the way he spins it. I mean, he spins it with the best of them. But trying to I remember in 8th grade I was playing baseball and different sports and looked up and grip how to hold a football. So I looked up Aaron Rodgers' grip and I've had the grip ever since. So I think just little things. I think his play fakes are unbelievable. I think the way he gets defenders, he got someone last week on a play fake, and his intensity is, his cadence is one of the best in the league. I'm not gonna get there this early in my career, but try to work towards it. He's so good at drawing guys off sides and take advantage of big plays, and I think he's just like I said, special talent, moving guys and moving defenders and throwing in tight windows. It's pretty cool to watch.
Have you had a chance to sit down and talk with him?
I haven't. I stepped up to him after the game last year, and then got knocked out with concussion when we the game we had here at home last year. So like I said, I think hopefully sometime down the road, but I'm sure we'll be pretty focused on Sunday. So
Drake, when it comes to, you mentioned the fakes with Rodgers, you were on quite a few boots in the game last week. Just what do you like about moving the pocket and how does that?
Yeah, I think it keeps defense honest. Trying to build off our run game, build off our play action game. We had throws off it. We had like I said, boots off it. We had kind of different designs, and I think it just the chance for me to get on the edge and make them keep them honest as a runner, and then from there just get easy dump offs and there's some goods and some bads. It cuts off the side of the field obviously, but you try to get the good run action to get it that way and just trying to bury the fake. I think you need to do a better job of that, but other than that, it's good play. The line guys like it, getting for them just getting on the move and hitting somebody. So it's a good thing you can use in the red zone and short yardage and kind of 4-minute, 5-minute stuff. So.
Do you feel like last week you guys got closer to an offensive identity, or is this just that's what worked best for Miami and that's why we did
Yeah,
that?
you try to make it different throughout the weeks with who you're facing. The opponent matters so much, but yeah, I think some of the big hitters were getting the ball out. Staying inside out and pass pro. The guys did a good job of that. Establishing the run, hadn't had in the run game. Thought we did a good job of that, and just positive plays. Kind of being short distances. I think we got to do a better job there, and kind of be lay back on the penalties. And I think those guys that play a role in that, and so just from there, just kind of some of the main things I think we're trying to establish is we accomplished.
What impresses you about the Steelers' defense and the idea of going against Jabril Peppers is a possibility also?
Yeah. First off, their down guys are good players, real good players. Their linebacker, their front seven's real good. They got veterans guys in the back end that have been great players in this league, and I think the Steelers, they're going to play hard. They're coached well, and I think for us, we just gotta, like I said, stay ahead of the chains. I think you mentioned Pep. Yeah, if he's out there, shoot, he's going to compete. We know what he's like, so he's going to bring it. So.
How would you describe what Stephon is like behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, Steph. Yeah, he's a great teammate. I think that's the biggest thing. He's fire on game day. You see him. You see him even in practice. He wants to bring it. Rightfully so. I think he thinks a lot of the guys around him. I think he wants to be a great teammate. He wants to bring the energy. He's a leader, and I think he wants the ball. And I think we got to do my part of trying to get to him more, and then from there, still being honest with throwing to the right guy, but getting him the football, and he's trying to do all the right things and showing up every day. So pretty cool.
Drake, I know you haven't spent a ton of time with him, but another receiver, Julian Edelman's going to the Patriots Hall of Fame Saturday. Any stories or memorable moments with him?
Yeah, I got to meet him a few times. Something we talk about in the quarterback room, Coach McDaniels talks about is, the trick plays back in the day. He used to say, when they would complete one, I think Julian talked about one where he threw it to the guy he wasn't supposed to for a touchdown one time, but he'd come back in the team meeting with some ice on his shoulder, and the guys would be laughing, and we'd do that for Tom. So Coach McDaniels used to talk about that and thought it was funny. So acting like his arm was hurting from throwing. So.
It looks like from the outside that Pop Douglas has kind of seen a dip in his opportunities over the first couple of games. What are those conversations like with him when it comes to keeping him engaged and kind of keeping him on the same page?
Yeah, I think just the big thing with Pop is he's done such a great job. Since training camp, since the spring, learning the offense, being in different roles, and I think just him just stay bringing it. I think the ball's going to find him. I think there's some opportunities where we can give him the football, and I think we're going to use him more. He's a great player, good with the ball in his hands, and I think just keep going. I think sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way in the game plan some weeks, and you'll get some bigger personnel and things like that to run the football. So we'll definitely find ways to get Pop the ball, and he's got a touchdown in the year. That's a big stat in this league. So.
Drake, Stephon said that you guys, when it came out of week one, going into Miami, kind of pissed off as an offense. Do you agree with that assessment? And how do you keep that urgency coming off of a win in week two?
Yeah, that's what. I think it's good. That's a good way. I think we just felt like we left a lot out there. And I think we, like I said, came with some fire in week two, and I think, gotta keep that mindset. It starts out here in practice. Starts this week. But I think, like I said, just bring it. I think realizing in this league, it's you got to bring it every week. It's a new team. Like I said, we're playing at home in front of our own fans, so try to get one. And then, like I said, it's a new week. We got to have different success this past week, and just got to try to emulate it. So, thank you guys.